everyone, welcome back to Cincinnati Zoo Tales. I'm Jenna.
And I'm Mark. Thanks to everyone out there for tuning into another episode of Cincinnati Zoo Tales. We're really excited to hear some updates today about Simang Point. And this is a habitat at the zoo that's still very new. I'm sure there might even be visitors listening to this episode that haven't even been to Simang Point yet. We'd encourage you to come check it out. But we've done an episode on it in the past. We're excited today to talk about all the new updates, everything going on. We're being joined by Wendy Rice and Carli Reiber, who, if you're longtime listeners to the show, you've heard them on the podcast before. But both you ladies, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today and chat.
Thank you. Thanks for having us back.
Yeah, a lot of people probably know Wendy was, she's an ex-Africa keeper. She used to work in Africa.
We're not bitter at all.
Not at all.
No, we're
and
not.
I think you said that last time we talked to her. And I would like to know, what do you think is the number one, difference in the type of care you do in Simang Point versus Africa?
Oh, the type of care?
Yeah, or just something that feels completely, opposite or different from the departments.
I think that a lot of our African species were maybe a little bit more independent in the sense that, they can go big stretches of the day without a keeper needing to check in or reset enrichment or provide, entertainment for them. But our animals at Simang Point are a little more high maintenance in the sense that they're, highly trainable, highly enrichable, but it also means that, they need a lot to keep them, functioning throughout the day. So we do a lot of enrichment resets. We do a lot of hands-on training with them.
That sounds perfect for you.
I know.
I feel like that's one of your favorite things. Yes.
We're just very helicopter parent with them, and we're in their business a lot. So yeah, we're in each other's worlds more than I would say the animals in Africa who get breaks from their keeper staff for big chunks of time.
I mean, they're just different types of animals, right? And yours probably have high metabolisms and they aren't grazing on grass all day like some of ours or alfalfa or whatever. But you're also so condensed.
Yes.
We're really spread out, the Africa department is, but you guys are close, and I feel like that would be kind of nice in a lot of ways, but I'm sure you're very busy.
Yeah.
And Carli, what's one of your favorite things that you've learned in Simang Point over the last year?
One of my favorite things?
Or a new thing as a keeper you've done?
Well, when I worked in the primate areas, we didn't do keeper chats or as much guests interaction because of the Wild Encounters team mainly did all that. So we do a lot of guest interaction, and we also have a lot more opportunities with the Invisinet. We can actually when the Simangs were on the island, you can't go out there and really do much. So being able to go out and do that, and people seeing a lot more of that stuff that we do behind the scenes out front.
Oh yeah,
so that's been really fun.
I love that. I love that you like doing that because we've talked about it before. Some keepers want nothing to do with the public, but it's really important these days, and it's kind of an expectation, and we hope that keepers are more willing and want to share all of the information and training they're doing with their animals.
Right.
So.
Well, we exist because our guests are here. They're paying the paycheck. They're feeding the animals. So yeah, we want it obviously to be an amazing experience for them and educational and everything.
And I love that you mentioned how the design of the habitat allows for that, right? Because that's something I hear from guests all the time when they go to Simang Point is just how cool and how close they can get to the Simangs. They have the overhead walkway that the Simangs will cross through, which is, I know, a big hit for visitors as well. So it's cool that you guys are in a habitat that allows for that as well.
I think that's funny that they've shared videos of your gibbons crossing over that, and I don't know why. It weirds me out. I don't know why. And I feel like there are two
they're
camps.
Escaping or something.
People either no, it's the way they walk. It weirds me out. Which is so weird. Nothing I'm not creeped out by bugs or anything, but I'm just that is weird. And people love it. Yeah. Or maybe most people love it. I don't know why. It just weirds me out how they're
Sebastian has mastered the bipedal walk.
Maybe
through
that's
the
what's
loops,
freaky.
and it's very
Sasquatch. Yes.
It's very you're seeing something you shouldn't be seeing. Whoa.
And Bird just kind of shuffles.
Yeah, Bird has to go scoot herself along. It's a whole different, two different methods, but they both make it across.
And the gibbons are just odd because those arms are so long.
So
They're
long.
Dragging on the ground when they walk. It's something looks weird here.
Yes.
Like the Slender Man or something.
Yes, there's something about it. My brain's I don't know about that.
It's definitely going to make an impression one way or the other.
Yes. And then I came over to have lunch with Wendy a couple weeks ago, and I saw that there was a little, it's a puzzle feeder for, I won't name it, but basically a little ball with a hole in it, and it was outside of the Invisinet. So there was the fence for the public, and then this planted area, and it was in that area, and I was that's not good. That's not right. You know, and it took my brain a second to be like, no, that's okay. But one of them was like sitting there just picking things out of it. It was like a double puzzle feeder because they had to go through the net to get the food.
Right.
But they were so close to the public, and it was just like the coolest interaction or like
That's
opportunity.
What we're shooting for. Yeah, glad you enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It adds another layer of challenge for them to have to reach through the mesh to do the puzzle. And it also, forces them to be right up there. Like, this is the closest view you're going to get of this animal. And it's a win-win for guests and animals. Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. Well, cool. So last time we talked to you guys, I think the last episode we talked to you guys was about Asian small-clawed otters, and you had babies at the time, and now there are more babies. Yes. And before we get into the new babies, can you guys just give like a little description, like natural history size of Asian small-clawed otters, and an update on the first litter?
Sure.
You said update on like the first litter and all
Yeah.
that? Okay, so we have 6 grown otters right now, and we have the 3 new pups. So the 6 grown adult otters are Minty and Flounder, the parents. Then we have the 4 boys, Scuttle, Ripple, Puddles, and Splash. And then Ripple's like the biggest right now. He's about the same size as Flounder, give or take. Then Scuttle's the smallest, and he's about the same size as Minty. So Flounder's around like 4 kilograms.
Okay.
Give or take. And then Minty, when she's not pregnant, is around 3 kilograms. So Scuttle's, there's like a big size difference, really.
So we're
and
talking
they're
like
full grown.
6 to 9 pounds.
Yeah.
Actually, they're very
guys.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the smallest otter species, and they're so cute, so adorable. And the most fun about this round of having pups is like now we're doing it with older siblings in the mix, which makes everything look
Very
completely different this time. Yeah.
And how old are the boys now? The first litter?
They're going to be 1-year-old on Saturday, May 9th.
Yeah. Oh yeah, birthday party.
Oh, fun. I don't know. This might come out after the birthday party, but happy birthday to the boys.
Yeah, if this comes out afterwards, take a peek at Zoo's social media. I'm sure we'll
Yes.
have something posted for the.
Yeah.
For
Do you
the
guys
birthday
have a
party.
theme planned for them or like any special enrichment?
I mean, it's kind of like water themed.
Okay.
So VE made like a banner. It says like, I think it says like Splish Splash. It's an otter birthday bash. And then, and then commissary's making them a birthday cake.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm sure it's got to be chaotic. How has it been with the older siblings meshing with these new pups? Like, are they allowed to have access to the new babies? Are they being friendly? Are they playing nice? Or are they being older brothers and roughhousing a little bit?
They're doing overall really well. And for Asian small-clawed otters, it's actually really important for older siblings to help take care of their younger siblings. We think that has a lot to do with how they develop their paternal instincts and skills. So they actually are in there with mom and dad and helping out. And we even learned that poor Moonty, if her first set of kiddos, if any of them had been female, so if Moonty had a daughter right now before this next litter of pups came along, apparently that daughter would lactate and help her nurse babies. Like, that's how involved the siblings are in the parental care. So unfortunately for Moonty, we've got 4 boys from round 1, and they are acting like 4 boys. They're doing the best they can, but it's been so fascinating to see their different roles and different personalities, because literally all 4 of them are doing completely different things, and it's hysterical to watch.
Can you tell us about some of those things?
Yeah, so Splash is our little, he's like, I don't know if he's been assigned in his mind, if Moonty told him, I don't know, but he is all about making sure that the nest has enough material. So every chance he gets, no matter where, if he goes into Mo's stall, if he goes out into the habitat, if he finds any kind of browse or bedding material, he is bringing it back to that box.
Oh, yes, I recently saw the video. Was that Splash?
Yes, like fighting with that branch to get it through the door.
That was amazing.
Yes, so he is obsessed with the nesting material, and he's crushing it. He's doing a really good job with that.
Good for him.
Yeah.
She's probably like, I just need a break. Go get some bedding.
Go find more. Yeah.
Stay busy.
And then we have. Which boy do you want to talk about?
We have
Next.
I guess the next most helpful is Puddles.
Yeah.
He's the one with the pink tip nose. He's pretty helpful. He doesn't really do anything to go against Moonty, so I think that's the helpful part. And usually if they're moving them, he is on cue with where they're going and doing the right thing. He doesn't
kind of hurting them, basically?
He'll help carry them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or he's guarding the nest box.
Yep.
He doesn't really do anything that goes against the grain, I guess. He's usually doing the right thing that needs to be happening.
He seems to be paying attention to Moonty's cues and following them. So if she starts moving them in one direction, he's like, oh, okay, and he'll grab the second pup and follow her. And yeah, he's babysitting in the box. A lot of times when Moonty is outside, Puddles might be the one that's still inside, making sure that the
Aw.
pups are not alone.
Yeah.
He's showing really good instincts, and he's a
Yeah.
very chill otter. He
Yes.
doesn't get
He's
worked
very
up.
sweet.
Yeah, he's like he's doing really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the opposite end of that spectrum, we've got Ripple, who is just like chaos all the time. He's literally like, anytime Moonty is moving the boys from A to B, he's moving them back from B to A. Like literally actively working against her in real time.
I think he thinks it's helpful. Like,
I was gonna
think
say, I
he's
wonder
really
what's
trying.
going through his mind.
He's like so close to getting it. He's like, oh, we're moving babies. And he'll just pick one up and start carrying it.
Oh my
And then recently, like just in the past week, he has decided that these pups are ready to swim.
Yeah.
So he's been grabbing them and dunking them, and not always with the consent of the parents.
Oh my gosh.
He tried to take one out on habitat, and we got the door shut just in the right amount of time. So Ripple is kind of creating some chaos. And he's very spirited about it. Like it is hard to like break him out of the like, no man, no one's doing that. We're not doing that right now. But he's got the motivation and the fire. He's just misdirected in his efforts, I'd say.
It sounds like a sitcom episode. Like, mom and one brother are carrying babies
Yeah.
one way, the other one's carrying them the other way. Madness.
And I guess the last but not least would be Scuttle.
And Scuttle.
He's just here.
Yeah, he is.
He we don't see him helping often or really trying to be involved. A lot of times, if there's one otter outside, it's typically him just doing his own thing.
Okay.
Independent guy.
He's. I guess maybe he thinks he's like still baby.
Aw.
Scuttle
Yeah,
just worries about Scuttle. He's not super aware of what the family unit is doing or whether he should be involved. He's like our weird little rogue independent boy. He's also, we always say, like, the cutest one.
Yeah.
He's like our Disney otter. He has just, like...
He looks like Moonty.
Yes, he's small and tiny like Moonty and has, like, just the most cute, perfect little Disney otter face. He's adorable. So he's not causing any problems, but he's
No.
not really helping
Okay.
out.
That's
either.
a
So
win.
you
thing.
gave
That's
him
a
a
win.
Disney character name.
I mean, that's just right?
Seriously.
That's true.
Oh, that's so fun. So the boys are about to be one and they're being helpful. And when was the last litter born?
They were born on March 23rd.
Okay. And it was
And
kind of a surprise, right?
It was. I mean, so Carli was actually the first to notice that Moonty had gained weight. So I'll let you talk about
so
that.
we do monthly weights, and I don't know if I've ever told you this, but like a few days prior, I was like looking at her and I was like, she looks kind of big, but like not really thinking anything. I'm just like, oh, like we need to weigh them like soon. So I put the scale in there. And like I said earlier, she's normally around like 3 kgs, and then the scale was like 3.4, and like instantly I was like, oh no.
What's going on here?
The last time, I think in our records, like 4 days before she had the boys, she was 3.4.
Oh.
And I was like,
Yeah.
like we're gonna have babies tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
oh no. And so then I texted Wendy, and I was like, do you think it's worth like doing an ultrasound? And you're like, yeah, it couldn't hurt, but like surely it's fine. And
Hopefully she's just chunky.
Yeah, she's just eating a lot of food right now.
Hey, living her best life or something.
Dr. Jess came, and you did the ultrasound with Dr. Jess.
Yeah, so it was funny because Jess is like, I'm pretty sure we're not going to find anything. You get Moonty up in the tube, and she flips over and does her thing, and we're looking and searching, and both of us at the exact same moment, we're like, oh, what was that? What was that? And these babies were already developed enough that we already saw like heartbeat, rib cage, and multiple
wow.
babies, and we were like, oh boy.
She's pretty far along.
Yes,
Yeah.
and their gestation is quick. It's 68 to 72 days. You don't have a lot of time anyway. So we at least knew she was pregnant, and with her weight and with the ultrasound, we knew how far along she might be. So we at least knew, like, I would say within like a 30-day window, like, oh, we're gonna have babies in the next month probably.
When was this ultrasound? They were born the March 23rd.
Oh, it was
And
probably in February, I would guess.
So you knew like 6 weeks or so
we knew
ahead
like
of time?
almost a month. In
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like a
advance,
full month in
Okay.
advance, yeah. But for anyone wondering, like, well, was this planned or did we know? We were not planning on this litter. In fact, we had given Moonty birth control implants, like, back after the first litter of boys because they did their thing, they had their babies, and they were like, okay, that's plenty of your genetics for now, like, let's pump the brakes on the breeding. And the implants that we use for otters are super tiny, like the size of a Tic Tac, because it's a very small animal. You don't need a whole lot of hormones. The tricky thing is, so otters are so, like, meticulous about their coats that we were trying to be mindful of that when we placed this intradermal, meaning under the skin, implant that would keep her from getting pregnant. And our vet staff were being very, very conscious about that. So we try to use the smallest incision possible. we try not to shave any of the fur because it's almost like popping a hole in their insulation layer. So you don't want to like shave a big old patch of fur or anything because literally like water's going to seep in and it just causes problems. And then the placement of it, we try to put it somewhere that individual otter can't reach it easily. So it goes interscapular between their shoulder blades essentially. So Moonty can't like swing her head around and kind of try to groom it out or anything. So we put it there. We used literally only one stitch and a little bit of glue to close that incision site, and then we did our best to keep an eye on it as she healed. But we think that somebody else took that implant out for her, because they groom each other. They, engage in allo grooming. So we suspect that somebody was like, "What's this? Ooh, that's weird. What is that? Foreign body. Don't worry, I'll get it out for you." And before we knew it, it was out, and she was, able to reproduce again. It happens at Cincinnati of all places. So yeah. So this litter was not planned, but the SSP, when they heard about it, because we let them know, we're like, oh, surprise, we got a pregnant otter. They said, that's okay. Hopefully we get some girls this time. Because every single Asian small-clawed otter that was born last year was male.
That is
I
wild.
know. So crazy. And we're like, oh, well, at least hopefully we can contribute in that sense, but nope.
Surely there will be a girl.
Right. 3 more boys.
What are the odds?
Wild. Yeah. Makes you think there's something going on there that we don't understand. So that's where that's at.
But you mentioned they help take care of siblings, and there aren't really, other than probably just a larger crowd, like there aren't any issues with having like another litter, yes, while the other boys are still here?
Our habitat size is fine. Like, we're not worried about the habitat size or our behind the scenes space. I think it's mostly we're concerned about social fracturing with the group. And
what would they typically do in the wild?
In the wild, they do, like, once the children, the offspring start to reach, like, sexual maturity, it's very normal for the social group to kind of break up. And that's, like, nature's way of preventing inbreeding. Like, we're related, and if you all are going to go on and have children of your own, it probably shouldn't be in this group because we're all related. So naturally, they all, like, kind of break up and go their separate ways. But obviously, when that happens in a zoo setting, they can't go anywhere. They can't get away from each other, so you start to see fighting. And that's usually an indicator to keepers, like, okay, we have to start managing them separately and looking for a new home for this individual or that pair or whatever. So yeah, the biggest issue moving forward is going to be the social fracturing and how long we can keep this size of a group of otters happy together.
What age are they typically reproductively mature?
Usually around 2 years.
Okay, so you've got about a year to figure some of that out.
And the social fracturing doesn't always happen right away. The SSP told us, like, sometimes groups will make it 6 years before they see problems. I'm also hopeful that maybe with our, like, sex ratio of literally... We're going to have 8.1 now, so 8 males, 1 female. Maybe just with that dynamic alone, that there's really only 1 female, and since they're usually in charge, maybe she'll be able to keep everything in line. So we'll just have to see.
Do you have different plans for the birth control this time?
A different kind, I guess.
Yeah, so we used MGA last time, and we're going to try Deslorelin this time, but it's still an implant. So we are reaching out to other facilities and other veterinarians looking for maybe alternative locations. Like maybe interscapular is not the place to go. We're thinking maybe if we can at least put it in a location that's easier for keepers to monitor, we might be at least become aware if it gets removed. But I don't know. Keep your fingers crossed for it. Obviously, you have to figure it out.
And for Moonty, the mom, she had two litters in, what is that, like 11 months or so? Is that too much for her, or were you guys concerned about her, or is that normal for otters?
Totally normal.
Totally normal. Okay.
Yeah, they can have 2 litters in a year, as we've learned. Yep. And I think in a lot of ways, it's actually probably better for them to be back to back close because, as we just discussed, if sexual maturity happens at 2 years of age and they're starting to leave the home, and you want them to get that sibling experience before they go, it makes sense that those litters are closer together, so that the yearling boys are like old enough that they can fend for themselves, but old enough to start paying attention and helping with babies. So the timing is actually perfect for Otter World. Just wasn't great for what we were planning.
So you mentioned the dunking them in water and helping them swim, and this still blows my mind that otters are born and they can't go in the water. It's not safe for them. Can you tell us a little bit about that, like the process and how you know when it's safe, or do the otters tell you everything about when the babies can start swimming? Are their eyes even open yet?
Yes. Their eyes open around like 40 days, give or take. So I believe all 3 of them, their eyes are open now. They're still like in the nest box a lot, but now they're coming out more and starting to put them in the water. So we just start with like little plates or little pans. We have like a baby pool flipped upside down to try to like promote them to start doing it. And then as they keep getting older, giving them like actual pools with like some more depth. And then I think the boys last year went out at like 2 months old, around 2 months old, give or take, and they were like ready for the big pool then.
Yeah.
So.
And the parents will actually like pick them up and put them in the water, right? Like it's kind of scary.
Yeah. To the human eye, it looks pretty intense, and it's not something that I would do with my child, for example. Like just forcing them in and putting their little heads under, and they're like, "This is water. Figure it out."
Just giving them a swirly. Like,
Yes,
poor kids.
very much. It's like very like baptism by fire, but water. Obviously, it's wild to watch, but we have to trust and like they know what they're doing, and this is how they get it done. So.
And clearly it worked out with the first group, right? That gives you a little bit of confidence that they knew what they were doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys decided on names yet?
Oh, this is fun.
5 groups of names.
Yeah. So
5 groups.
Yes, so we wanted to do something kind of fun. So like the timing of these babies and the fact that we're we just started zoo babies. Like the month of May is zoo babies. So in order to choose their names, we wanted to solicit the help of the other animals in Siamang Point. So our team came together and came up with 5 sets of names, and we're using the animals in Siamang Point to help us narrow it down. So the first set of names is another water theme, so round 2. And we have Tug, Buoy, and Snorkel. So that's one set of possible names. Cute. Yeah. So Munti's name is actually Tagalog, so we wanted to do one set of names that's a nod to her, kind of like her name and her history. So the Tagalog boys' names that we've chosen are Berto, Renzo, and Lando.
Cute.
Yep. Kind of going off of the water theme last time, we thought maybe an earth theme this time, so we have Cliff, Jasper, and Pebble.
Those are cute too.
I like that. I like those.
Those are good.
A little baby named Cliff.
That's what I'm saying. And Jasper. It's kind of like,
Right.
Cute, right?
I got a Twilight in my head though.
The next list of names, we didn't know what else to call them, so they're kind of just like cool and trendy, popular names right now. So like maybe kids that are coming to the zoo, like, that's my name. Mm-hmm. So we have Sheldon, Nico, and Cooper. And then our last group of names are our fishy names. We have mackerel, guppy, and shrimp.
That might be the winner for
I
me.
know.
The little guppy.
I can't get over shrimp.
Yeah,
Shrimp is like a personal favorite of mine. They're all fun and cute in different ways, and Carli made such a good point that like we were talking about names, and like sometimes you pick a name and you're like, I don't know, it doesn't feel right, but animals always seem to like grow into them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I've never named an animal in my career and then went back and be like, oh, we messed up.
Yeah.
This shouldn't have been Fiona. That was wrong. Like they always just kind of become their name. So we're kind of hoping whatever it ends up being, like they'll embody it and it'll work.
So now when you tell us that you're going to let the animals choose, how does that look?
Well, I don't know when this is airing, but yesterday the Hornbills had their day to do their like choosing thing. So our coworkers set up 5 bags with like the names written on the front, and then they like videoed it for PR. But for their round, it was like the last bag chosen was the one that was eliminated.
Okay.
Is it safe to say like what was eliminated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. This will unfortunately come out after I think the video does. So you can tell us.
I didn't have to be like a spoiler alert. The cool names got eliminated.
Okay. So there's no Nico, Cooper, or Sheldon.
Right.
Okay.
They're out. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll be honest. That was my least favorite too.
Good riddance. The Hornbills chose well.
They're just so cute.
It's kind of funny too because I don't know if you watched the whole video, but they like do all the bags and the one is still sitting there and they just up and leave.
Like
my
they
gosh,
literally
they-
just
They didn't even go for it.
don't
No.
even engage with it.
Bad
Not
vibes.
that.
Bad.
Yeah.
What a fun idea. I
Yeah.
love it so much. That's awesome.
So who's the Hornbills just chose? Who's next on the list?
I think we said Siamang's
Siamang's.
next.
Simon's, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna let the Siamangs narrow it down. Then after that, Uncle Mo, who shares a habitat with the otters,
Uncle Mo.
he's gonna narrow it down to the final 2 choices, and then for the otters are ultimately gonna be the ones to choose. So we have this vision. We hope it pans out. We'll see. We're gonna like paint the names of like the last 2 sets on 2 nest boxes set opposite from each other, and then have the babies in the middle. And then, like, let the adults back over, and whichever nest box that they put the babies in, we'll say they are choosing those names for them. Yeah, we have big dreams. We hope this pans out. If not,
we
we'll
hope Splash. Who's the one that takes it the wrong way all the time?
Right?
Yeah.
Ripple.
He's gonna
Ripple's
take one to the
other one.
We're gonna like both end up in both
Yes.
now what?
Hey, we'll see. If we have to split the names up and we get like a fish or a fishy name plus a water name plus we'll see.
There you go.
That's some of the fun of it, I guess.
We know animals always cooperate with our plans, so
Right?
I'm sure it's gonna go
Always
off
goes
without
so
a hitch.
well.
Yeah. No, I love that idea. It's such a cool concept to have them actually choose their names. I've never seen that before.
Enrichment, so
Yeah.
fun. You mentioned Uncle Mo. Will you tell everybody a little bit about Mo?
Yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Because Mo wasn't here the last time we chatted, right? He's been a new addition to Simon Point.
Correct. So yeah, the last time we did the podcast, we didn't have Mo yet. He came to us in September. He's 5 years old. He is a Babirusa. He has 2 brothers, Larry and Curly. So Mo, Larry, Curly. And he lives with otters, not full time. He does have his own bedroom space behind the scenes, but they do coexist on habitat together.
Which we've seen a lot of funny videos, and the otters definitely like Mo.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure how much Mo likes the otters, but a Babirusa is a type of pig, like if in case anybody doesn't know, but an Asian species of pig. Is there anything else like native or natural history you could tell us a little bit about?
They're one of the oldest species, if not the oldest, like species of pigs that's still alive. So they're ancient. They're ancient pigs with the wisdom of the past imbued in them. And their most like striking feature is that the males have these tusks that grow out of their face and literally back towards their own skull. And depending on like the conformation of those tusks, sometimes they'll crisscross and no problems at all. Sometimes they literally carve straight back into their own skull.
That is
Yes.
why.
And
That
it can
is-
kill them.
Yeah.
It's wild. They found like
terrible
like
death.
skulls of pigs who clearly died from this, but there's such a strong selection for it in breeding that it doesn't matter if they die at age 15 from this, but they bred for
They pass it
7
on,
years before
yeah.
that. That genetic trait gets passed on. So Mo is very lucky. Obviously, he doesn't have to worry about that happening to him here at the zoo because we just file his tusks and make sure that they stay in like a healthy, safe like orientation on his head. But yeah, you're gonna see that and notice that right away. He's definitely like I think kind of like our dark horse at Simon Point because people come over looking for Siamangs and otters, and then they see the hornbills and they're like, "Wow, those are amazing!" And then everyone looks at the habitat and goes, "What is that?"
Is that a rock? Oh wait, it's
Right.
moving.
We get
Well, he's frequently called a hippo, a rhino, a warthog.
warthog.
Is there
Yeah.
any more? I feel like those
Wow.
are the top 3.
Yeah. The cool thing about Mo is most people have never even heard of a Babirusa when they come up to Simon Point, and almost everybody leaves. Like, fully understand. Certainly, if a keeper's around, they know not only what he is, but that he's Uncle Mo, and
Yeah.
he is like has this special relationship with our otters. Yeah,
That's so funny.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit about like what he does on the exhibit and what the otters do.
Yeah.
So he mainly he can go everywhere in the yard and in the pool. Last year when he first went out, he never really would go in the water yet. I think at his previous facility, they had water features, but I don't think like as intensive as ours because we have the otters. And he can swim. He's just not, maybe not as experienced in swimming. But mainly his like areas over to the right. The otters go everywhere. But he does wade over now to the little what do we call Otter Island.
Yeah.
And he goes over there and hangs out with them. Yeah, he hasn't really necessarily swam yet.
Okay,
like,
that'd
for
be super
real.
cool if he came in one day
Yeah,
and
I
saw
know,
him
it's
swimming.
Yeah. But he's getting more comfortable. And I think over the winter when we had to drop the pool so it was all empty, I think that like really boosted his confidence of like even though it wasn't water, he's like, oh, I know like this is not anything super scary.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got to navigate the space empty and yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Mo spends his days, there's a couple of like favorite activities for Mo. He's one of our animals that at this point is a little high maintenance. Like he does require a lot of like enrichment resets. We want to make sure that Mo is busy and has things to do. In the wild, he'd spend all day foraging, looking for foods and stuff. So we're trying to reset him constantly. We call it the selfie station. So Mo loves laying right up at the glass with his face right in the window. And it's so fun as keepers because like we'll have cameras up keeping an eye on things, and the number of people that like lay down on the ground to get their face right next to Mo to take a selfie, like, warms my heart. Grown men, Jenna. Grown men laying on the ground taking selfies with Mo. It makes me so happy.
Now they know they're on camera, though.
We love it. Keep doing your thing.
Yes.
We love it. Yeah. And I think one thing about Mo that was, like, extra magical to me and unique, so most Babirussas love to be, like, pet and scratched by their keepers. And if their temperament is good enough, like Mo's is, we can share space with him and go in and give him pets and scratches, and they love it. They just lay down, and, like, it's almost more reinforcing to them than food. So Mo loves getting a good pet and a scratch. And then when Mo came to us here at Cincinnati, I think glass was a new concept for him, because he would walk up to every guest at that glass and just lower his head and be, like, as calm and non-threatening as possible, close his eyes and, like, lean in and wait.
Oh, buddy.
And I'd wait for the pets.
His selfie station, I think that's why. Because he has another area where we, like, set it up for him to lay down if he wants. I mean, he can lay down anywhere, right? But, like, a straw bed for him to lay down in.
You need to set up...
But even, like, the straw, like, where we'll, like, set straw in his selfie station, he
scoots it over.
He scoots it over
to his
like,
spot.
Sit
He's like, this
spot.
is where my people...
Okay, here's the next tour idea. You cut a hole in that glass, you put a door on,
Honestly.
and 30 minutes every hour, people can come and scratch
God,
Mo
he
with
would
like
love
like one of those.
I've thought about,
a
like,
back
use,
scratcher.
like, a scrub brush on a long handle or something, because he's just all day, and he's
so
like, what's
sweet.
wrong with people in Cincinnati that they don't
They
give
don't
pets?
give you
I'm right here.
People.
Yeah, he really does. So
That's so fun.
he's been a great ambassador for his species, because he's just, like, right up there for our guests. So, and that's also been really helpful, because the otters are not super visible right now. Like, with the pups being young, they're off habitat a lot. The 1-year-old boys are coming out fairly regularly and, like, romping around and getting crazy with it. But when people show up and the otters are not out, at least Mo's, like, the consolation prize. Like, I'm here. And people usually get a big old smile on their face, and it doesn't sting so much that they miss the otters.
Yeah, that's a great consolation, is you get to take a selfie with Mo. I can't be too disappointed.
Pretty awesome.
Add it to the list of things we have to do.
I know, seriously. This whole selfie station is new to me.
I
so,
know,
like,
I didn't know this was...
We need to make this an official thing.
We need to
not
put
just
a border
not
on the
just,
glass that like
Like a
designates it.
sticker.
Yes, something like that.
Oh, I love it.
Not that people need any, like, guidance. It just happens naturally.
Yeah.
Like, they all know what to do.
Yeah.
And you did mention, so Mo, he can go back to his own bedroom where he kind of gets away from everyone, but he does have a lot of interacting with the otters. How does that typically go?
It's been interesting. So, like, there in the beginning, Mo would have this, like, he would just, like, stop like a statue, and the otters would come up to him. He's like, oh, freeze. And I guess try to just be, like, non-threatening and not reinforcing any behavior he didn't like. He would just kind of wait them out. And Asian small-clawed otters are one of 3 species of finger otters, and, like, they're very tactile. Like, they want to touch things with their hands. So they'll come up to Mo, and they're soaking wet, and he's dry, and there's literally tiny little handprints, yes, from the otters, like, all over Mo, like graffiti art, where they've been touching on him and stuff. As the water boys, we call them, like our first litter, have gotten older, they're kind of in this, like, punky teenager phase right now, where they're kind of bullying Uncle Mo around a little bit.
Before this newest litter happened, and, like, they could all go outside, there was, like, nothing in the back to be worried about, like, attending to the new kids. Moonty, the boys would be playing, and then Moonty already does her own thing a lot, and she'd be off on her own, like, sitting in vicinity of Mo. So me and one of the volunteers would call, like, oh, look, it's Eminem, Mo and Moonty. Yeah, she likes to go and hang out with him sometimes, I think.
They enjoy the same things, like
Yes.
snacking and napping.
Yes.
That's Moonty and
the
Mo are
life
like
right
all
there.
day, every day, right, right. But Moonty's been very busy, and she's not been able to snack and nap with Mo. And then in the meantime, the otter boys are, like, getting a little fidgety, a little restless, like they need something to do, and there's Mo. So they've been testing out how big and strong they are. They chase him around the yard. They are, like, nipping at his ankles and his tail and stuff. It's something that we're very aware of, and we're recognizing, like, it's not always the most positive experience for Mo. The tricky thing is, it's hard for us to give Mo like a safe place to go to where the otters can't follow, because he's big. He's 165 pounds, so any door that operates and works for Mo is big enough that it's going to let an otter in. And we talked about, well, maybe if it's heavy and only he can push it open, well, then we have to worry about it shutting on an otter. So right now we're kind of trying to manage and mitigate things and make sure that the otters have plenty of things keeping them busy so that Uncle Mo is not looking so enticing to play with. But it's something that we're definitely monitoring closely, and we want to make sure that if this gets to a point where this is not good quality of life for Mo, we're definitely going to keep that in mind and consider whether or not this is, like, his forever home.
It's so fun to have a mixed species habitat, and it sounds like he is just like a great uncle, and puts up with a lot. Hopefully he enjoys the little pets, and
he's very
maybe
patient.
it's like you can train the otters to give scratches.
There we go. Yeah. Just hop on top and scratch his back a little
and
bit.
hopefully the boys will kind of grow out of it,
I hope so too. And I think that once the little otters are out on habitat and everyone's out there together, maybe they're going to be busy playing with their younger siblings, and Mo will get more of a break. So we'll see. We're keeping our fingers crossed.
It's just so funny to me how bold those little otters are. Like you mentioned, they're what, 10 pounds, and then Mo's 150, 160-pound pig, and he's just tolerant of it. They're bullying the bully, basically.
That's such a good point. And part of us is like, Mo, lay down the law, baby. It's okay to give them a hard no sometimes and be like, you will not treat me like that. If you need to gently toss an otter to get your point across, I think there's a healthy way for him to set a boundary with them. But to Carli's point, his temperament, he's just so chill and calm and relaxed. He just kind of takes the abuse.
He just redirects and goes and does
buddy.
something else.
Yes.
Reminds me of Tucker here.
Tucker. He's just happy to be here. Cool. Do you have trivia today, Mark?
I do have some trivia for you all.
Ooh.
Unless there's something about otters or the new litter or anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to talk about. But
I think that's it. Just be hopefully that the babies will be out on habitat starting in June. So depending on when this airs, if you're really looking to see those new babies, June, and even then, there's still going to be a lot of napping going on. So there'll be bursts where they're active and doing all the crazy stuff, and then there'll be 2 or 3 hours where they're napping in a hole somewhere and you won't even see them. So just setting your expectations when you come out to look for them, that they're still young and life is fascinating and fun and it's exhausting. So they need a lot of nap time still.
And hey, even if you don't see the otters, you'll get to see Mo.
That's
so
right.
Life could be worse for sure.
Right.
Well, last time you both came on, we did a trivia about the otters. So I've actually got trivia today about all the other animals that you take care of at Simang Point. Even though we talked a lot about the otters today, but I've got some hornbill, Babirusa, and Simang trivia for you all today.
Oh boy.
First question we've got for you is talking about the hornbills, which I just got to say, they might be just the prettiest birds in the world. They are so striking. They're gorgeous birds. What is the term for the quote-unquote horn that is on the hornbill's beak?
Are you asking what it's called?
Yeah.
A casque?
A casque, yeah, there we go. The casque. And I'm sure you guys know this better than me, but the thought of that casque is it helps their calls reverberate, right? So
I like to tell kids, especially, if you think of a cheerleader with a megaphone, apparently it's like a resonating chamber. It makes them much louder in the forest. And in Southeast Asia, everybody be loud. Everybody is loud. Seriously, the Simangs are loud, the hornbills are loud, even the otters are screaming. So they're all just trying to get louder than the next guy so that everyone can hear them.
that's so funny. I never thought of it like a megaphone. That's a good, that's an easy way to put it. Perfect. 1 for 1 so far. Next question, hornbill related. What is the average wingspan of a hornbill?
I want to guess it's I feel like it's on their thing outside. I want to say it's 5.5 to 6 feet.
I want to say 6 feet.
I would say 8.
You guys are right on. Everything I read said right around 5.5 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I should know that from the bird show. I think I've heard
it
told to me a million times.
Yeah. They are beautiful if you happen to be able to get the chance to see one fly. They're striking animals for sure. And it is crazy because 5.5 feet, they're not that tall. I feel like that's such
I guess 8 does sound extreme.
And when they fly, because Carly and I will go out and cue them to fly for our guests so they can see it. The sound, it's so loud.
The whooshing.
Yes, it's like military helicopter or whatever. I'm like, wow. And it's just Blake and Remy being like, whoosh.
They also look, I feel a lot bigger than what they actually weigh.
Yes.
Because they only weigh around 6 pounds, I think, right?
Yeah,
6.5 pounds.
7 at most,
Yeah, I would have expected more than that. All right, 2 for 2 so far. Next question we've got is about old Uncle Mo, the Babirusa. What does the term Babirusa mean in Malay? Does anyone know what the term is for?
Isn't it pig deer?
Pig deer. Yep, yeah. Pig deer. Kind of a combination of, obviously they are pigs, but also like you talked about their tusks. Yeah. They almost look like antlers, potentially, if you saw them from far away. Yeah. Easy to get them confused. 3 for 3, guys. We're killing it. Next question we've got. How far away can a Simang's call be heard? Wendy just talked about how everyone's competing for audio space out in the jungles of Indonesia. So how far away can a Simang's call be heard?
I feel like I've heard a couple different numbers. I want to say it's 2 miles.
I think 2 miles is what we tell
2
people.
miles is spot on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good thing, because that's what I've been telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 miles is spot on. Meanwhile, when you're in Cincinnati, you might not hear it 2 miles away with all the noise pollution we have here, right?
Yeah.
But when you're actually
some
in
of
the
our
jungle,
guests, some of our neighbors
they probably do hear it. That's
when
true.
we moved
That's
into
true.
our new space, we did hear about it from a few neighbors who actually were very, very understanding once we like explained that they're new and they're we're getting acclimated. But yeah, you're gonna be hearing more of them because
Get
they
used
live
to
here now.
them.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right, 4 for 4. On to our last question. See if we can go perfect 100% here. What is the term for the type of locomotion that gibbons use as they go through the trees?
Brachiation.
Brachiation.
Yeah,
Yeah, 5 for 5. And it's like...
And creepy human yeti walk.
and the Slender Man walk as we walk. Yeah, it is incredible if you happen to see some videos of it, or if you're lucky enough to see it in person of them brachiating. It is just beyond impressive. And to think that they do it 100 feet in the air in the canopy of the forest,
Right.
nuts.
And they still fling themselves.
Well, no, like free fall too.
Yeah,
And just grab on the
they're
next thing. It's
wild.
like, whoop.
Burb is
Wow.
terrified. Just anybody listening who doesn't know brachiation, think of a kid on the monkey bars, like one arm over the other, basically.
I was just thinking about that. Do many monkeys brachiate? You think of like orangs and gibbons.
Well, the apes versus monkeys.
Should it be 8 bars? Should it be?
Should it be
It should
8
be gibbon
bars?
bars.
Gibbon- yeah,
Because
like-
gibbons are definitely brachiating.
We need to rebrand this.
Yes! Somebody get in touch with the playground makers. Make it
We'll
accurate.
start our own movement with Lincoln and Luke. They'll tell all their friends. This is not a monkey.
They're called
The
big
gibbon
bars.
bars.
Can you think of any monkeys that actually brachiate? Because I don't know a ton
Maybe
about
spider
monkeys.
or howler monkeys?
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know if
yeah,
they
yeah. You're
brachiate.
right. Yeah. Okay. So
I
it's
guess
not wrong.
The weird thing, like, I see what you're saying, though, because the distinction is, like, when monkeys navigate, they tend to use their tail a lot, right?
Yeah, and they're like,
Like,
jump.
they're using-
I feel like I don't know.
Yeah.
Good point.
Whereas, obviously, the gibbons
I
and
feel
apes don't have tails to use, yeah.
We're going to have to look into this further.
Yeah.
We need to do research. We need to do more
A
research.
deep dive is needed.
Oh, man. Jenna, do we have anything else for our guests while we have them here?
As long as we covered everything, our final question is, what can I do?
What can we do? Okay, so Jenna actually cued me, and she had a great idea since we were talking about baby otters. Talking about baby otters and thinking about baby things. We thought back to when my kiddo was young. We actually tried the reusable diapers, and I know a lot of parents out there are probably terrified at that thought. Like, that sounds horrifying, right? That's disgusting and messy, and like there's nothing easier than taking the diaper off and throwing it away. But there's obviously a huge environmental impact associated with that. So if you are curious or brave enough to give it a try with reusable cloth diapers, I did that for at least a year with Luke. We didn't do it for our whole diaper journey, but for a whole chunk of time there, at least a year, we did do them. And it's very doable. It's actually very doable. You'd be surprised. So there's plenty of brands out there, and most of them are like a wearable outer shell that you like swap the inserts in and out. And there's even like laundry services that will take and like launder these things for you. So if you're like, I don't want to mix baby poo in with like my clothes I'm wearing to work, you don't have to. There's laundry services that will take that and clean it and bring it back to you. So yeah, it's just one thing you could consider. And honestly, a lot of the time with Luke, we were doing kind of a blend. Like if you're going like to the zoo for the day, sometimes trying to bag up and keep the dirty diaper with you is like not super easy. So bring some disposables for something like that. But if you're at home for the day and it is something that you can manage to do, like give it a try. And I think I always like try to point out to people like being an environmentalist and being conscious about this stuff doesn't mean that it's one person doing it perfectly. It's all of us doing it imperfectly will make the big impact. So even if you only have 2 cloth diapers and you throw them into the rotation every once in a while, that's going to have an impact. So yeah, consider it. Look into it.
See, you so well said, as always, but that is something I commend because I have this podcast because I want to make the earth a better place, you know? But I just was unwilling to go that route because it sounded so tricky and just like, you know, when you have a baby, it's hard. It's hard enough in general,
so
and I was
hard.
like, I just can't do it. So, but I mean, like you said, it's really not as hard as it probably sounds, and it's definitely worth trying. And even just, if you did it for the first month or the...
Right, just do it once in a while. Even just once in a while, it can make a difference,
Yeah, like you mentioned, you did it for a year. I mean, I can't imagine how many diapers you saved.
Oh my gosh,
Over a
and money
year.
too.
Yeah.
Diapers are expensive.
The money too, right? Good point, Jenna. Yeah, the water, everything, all the things. So yeah,
Love it.
Awesome. Give cloth diapers a try out there. Maybe not for the adults, but for the parents out there. For the parents with kids out there. Oh, well, thank you both so much for joining us. I'm really, really excited to see where this naming journey goes
Me
for the
too.
otters.
Yes.
I'm going to be following along with it.
Yeah. Okay, will we see updated videos as it goes, or will it be all combined?
I think the hope is to kind of release them like as we go through Zoo Babies Month. So like maybe one each week or something, with the culmination being at the end of May and the announcing of the names. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you both for joining us. Thanks to everyone out there for tuning into today's episode. Wendy and Carli, be sure to give Mo a scratch for us.
Yeah,
Give-
we
give
will.
us a scratch.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yes.
Thanks for being here. Hope everyone has a great week.